And this is going to be about engage or die. We have to stay relevant. Now I'm going to just give you a few insights into the size of our business. We get $9 million, give or take, a year from the government to support thousands of people, I'll give you the numbers in a moment, to quit smoking. We've been around for 10 years. The return on investment, which we've completed, just the tangible costs, is $9 to 1. For every person we get quit at 12 months, we save the government $9. So we are way in the black in terms of our return. This morning it was discussed, the return on investment, it has to be there. And we've done that. We've recently put in a new CRM, and I've listened with interest. We love what we've got. The provider that put it in did a fabulous job with us. It set the platform for our future amazingly well. It cost twice as much as we planned and took 3 months longer. But we are really happy and really satisfied. All that pre-work, the painful stuff, was really worth it. We have got a tool for the future. We have about 38 FTEs on the phones. And all of our business is pretty much done on the phone. We're 10 years old. We grew very quickly into a big organisation, so everything was nip-on, clip-on, hence the cost of the CRM. It was all the bridge. I'm thinking of the Auckland Harbour Bridge. It was called nip-on, clip-on, wasn't it? You know, we're never going to need that much. Well, hello, we did. So we're in a place of change now, and we have to increase our volume exponentially over the next 3 years. So, first the shameless plug. There are 600,000 smokers in New Zealand. Our job is to ensure that all of those New Zealanders can access the support they need to quit and stay quit. And we have to deliver a customised, flexible service that is responsive, timely and cost effective. And for the last 10 years, we've advertised on TV and waited for the phone to ring, which has worked. But it's hardly customised and flexible, and it can hardly handle the volume. We have a capped budget. But what we do works. It absolutely works. We advertise and we wait for the phone to ring. We helped last year, this is to June this year, 40,000 people make 53,000 attempts. But a science here, the more times you quit, the greater your chance of success. So there will be more than one quit attempt. Like me, I'm a 3-timer. I don't know. Anybody else, put your hand up if you've tried to quit seriously more than once. Absolutely. You know how hard it is. 20% of those that we help are successfully quit at 6 months. It's a pernicious and diabolically addictive product, full of sugar, flavourings and tar. That's why it takes more than once. 80% of smokers want to quit and wish they had never started. Our website is very popular. 51,000 visits in the last 2 months, 151,000 page views. 53% of the clients come directly into the website because it's on the cigarette packet. Fantastic. Free advertising in that sense. Our income is capped and we're running at full capacity. Greater service is not looking flash. Why on earth would we need a social media strategy? We are already busy enough as it is. If this boat goes any faster, it will break. Back to the reason we exist. There's 600,000 smokers. When I joined the Quit group in August, whenever it was, 2008, my first board meeting, the chair said, you realise that at, around 40,000 or 50,000 attempts a year, it'll take us 70 years to get there. Most of the smokers will have died if nobody starts smoking today. So back to the get the boat go faster. 100,000 attempts. They want to quit, and we need to enable them to. But how do we reach them when our advertising budget is but a drop in the bucket? We spend about $1 million a year on TV to get those 50,000 attempts, and the government has just told us that they want 100,000 attempts over 3 years, and there's no more money. Now, where's the logic in 100,000? We haven't got any answers on that because we don't know. They haven't told us. They just want, and in fact they wanted 100,000 inside this year. And we said to ramp up, to scale up to that degree, you've got to give us some time. So we managed to persuade them over 3 years because that's the length of time we have a contract, which, by the way, we haven't got yet because they haven't signed it. However, we're still doing it. But this 100,000 attempts, how on earth can we do that? How can we handle them? 38 FTEs, minutes in the day, That's as far as that goes. Oh, well, that's okay. Well, okay, let's have a new service delivery model. Let's triage people and let's channel them so that we can handle those on the phone who need it and bring into the online environment and have self-service. Absolute makes complete sense and utter logic. Well, how are we going to get more than that many people into our website when there's no more money to advertise and websites are popular because of advertising? How are we going to get them in? Well, social media is the answer. Yeah, okay, well, we'll get to that one. So back to the smoker. I'm sorry if it makes the smokers want a cigarette, but, you know, that's because of the sugar, by the way. You're already feeling the loss of the sugar because it's been like, well, maybe an hour. So your body's going, where's the rest of the sugar, please, along with the nicotine? Sugar's the unknown content in cigarettes that makes women put on weight when they quit smoking. So the smoker, they're really busy. You know, they're commuting. Well, that's Auckland. That is Auckland, by the way. That's Wellington Railway Station, and that's getting bowled out by the boss. They're worried about their work. Even though they're smoking to calm down because they're stressed about their work. They've got no money because they're smoking, and because they lost their job and things are tight and all the rest of it. They're happy families too. They care about their kids, you know, they want to do the right thing. Geez, they're a bit worried about their health now and again. The gut's getting a bit big. They're social animals. Hello, they're human beings, just like all of us in the room here. And it may come as a surprise to learn that we are not the centre of their universe. So, you know, advertising and, you know, here we are. Hello, you know, I'm here. They go, so what? You know, they've got all these other things that they're concerned about. And honestly, the smoking part is what's making most of it manageable. Because nicotine is a very effective drug. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Just that how we take it kills you. 1 and 2, actually. So before social media, what would this business objective be? Well, okay, everyone says social media, yes. We've got these targets, we've got this population, they want to quit. How do we get them? We've got no more money to advertise, we can't afford to handle them on the phone, and round goes the conundrum. Now, we have the benefit of a lot of research in tobacco area. So we went looking around, what is it that helps quitting? Because that's what we're about. Well, thank you, Harvard. They did a network study, and they found networking was hugely influential for quitting outcomes. So rather than going, oh yes, we should be in the social media space, we thought, because why? Because networking is very effective for stimulating quit behaviour. Okay, well, how do we network? So the influence of family, friends, and work colleagues plays a major role. Therefore, we need to connect with smokers in their communities of interest. Not just connect with them, we are here, come to us, but connect with them. This is a reverse of what you think. Advertise and they come? No. How do we get invited into where they are? So we establish our business objective, but how do we take the basic principles of wooing and connecting into the online world? Because we still need to be attractive. We have to be relevant. Okay, we know, we've done the research, we know why they want to quit. They're worried about their money, they're worried about their health, they care about their families. Yep, okay, well that's true, they all know that. But how do we get them to want us? These things are all things that are known, but how do we get them to want us? And this is where you come back to Relationships 101. Being in the online space or in the real world, there is no difference. Just remember one thing. It don't make you cool. The technology does not make you cool. If you're square and a nerd over here, inside that machine you still are. I'm sorry, it's sad but true. My daughter's quick to point out, don't try too hard, Mum, you're overdoing it. If you're not relevant in real life, you will not be relevant in the online environment either. You're wasting your money. And we can't afford to waste our money because we just don't have enough of it. It's a big budget, sure, but there's a lot of people to help. It has to be spread around. So the best connection is an invitation, and this is where the new meets the old. Relationship 101. In the real world, you don't rock up to a stranger unless you're hard out selling something. You know, door to door, buy my encyclopedia. Nobody likes that and nobody wants to be it. You are invited. We have to find a way to be invited. Well, let's talk about something we all know about, dating. I remember it. First of all, you ask us, this is boy for girl now, by the way, because I find girls know much more about this than boys actually do. Boys learn very late in life. They get quite good at it, I might add, but they do late in life. So first of all, know who you want. Okay, we know about our smokers. We have researched them. We know everything about them. We know where they are. There's 600,000. We know their ages. We know where they live because the census tells us that. A lot of research on that one. Find out where she hangs out. It's a bit harder, but there's places and communities that have high smoking rates. We know that much. Make yourself as attractive to her as possible. It's a bit hard because I'll show you our web page in a minute. All the things you want are there. The man's got all the parts you want, but he's not very pretty. And we have all the parts you want on our website, but we're not very pretty. Because again, we don't have much money. We can't afford to be pretty. We're not wearing Dolce and swanning along with some Italian shoes on. We're looking pretty much dressed like Palestinians, which is serviceable, but not that flash. Be interested in her more than yourself. By the way, gentlemen, that's just a life story. Never give up being interested in her. Know who her friends are. Where is she? This is about connecting. You want an invitation, don't you? Who are her friends? Pretend to like them. Be in places she is so she notices you. You will see, those of you who've thought about social media or who are doing social media, you'll see these themes in places where it's really effective. This is what's working. Look for the signals of interest. That's spotting the things. That is that an invitation? Act on it and then go back to 4 and never leave it. So that's how you win the girl. It's how you get invited into people's worlds so you can influence them. Now, everything I'm talking to you about, I have learnt in the space of about 4 months, and I will thank Siobhan Bulfin, who's working with Plunkett at the moment, for introducing me to much of this through the Connect Now conference sort of circuit. They run conferences and venues and have a website, and please look at it. It is amazingly insightful. And honestly, everything you ever think about it before you start looking into social networking as a tool for your business, you throw out the window when you read this, because it comes back to being human. Participate, collaborate, share freely, freely being the operative word. Be transparent and have integrity, and be personal. And those two people, if anyone's heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, I think he's got more followers than anybody else in the world, like nearly 1 million or something. He's amazing. I couldn't live like that, but he's incredible, and because he always talks about something, how he manages to say something useful every day, I don't know. I try to say something useful once a month on my Twitter, and I think, oh God, I haven't said anything on Twitter, oh God, it's such pressure. And he managed to say something, and I go, oh gee, that's interesting, every day, and I'm not kidding. But this is the thing about the social media. So remember the first, if I could push that button, will it go back? Remember this? How to date? Come back to it. It's not merely a new set of channels to tack on to our communications. It's not about finding target audience and firing at them. It is about joining and building and finding. Because we have to be invited into this world. We have to be desirable enough to be invited in. Because that's where the network ability really will happen. Now it's going to get more challenging. The chemistry, he gets me. So the space, the reader has to think they get me, not I'm being talked to about quitting smoking. Because smokers are human beings and none of us like being talked to, and Kiwis particularly hate being told what to do. He gets me. We're in it together. It's mutual interest. It's not just about, oh my God, I feel guilty, which happened when I went out to see someone today. I trust them. I can believe there's some integrity to this stuff. All the stuff I see, how do I know it's true? Well, we've got a good reputation to leverage off for that. And this is our, oh good, we put the blogger page up, I screenshot it. I didn't actually, John Gow helped me. I'm so ashamed. I was one of those terrible CEOs that rang and said, can you please do a screenshot onto the slide for me? I'm never going to do it again, by the way, to the first presenter this morning. I'm never going to be one of those CEOs ever again. See that page? Boring as all hell, sorry. All of the nice things are there. But the quitter blogs are amazing. I said we had a really popular website. Well, we really do. And here's a person, I just checked out the savings after, blah, 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 and all these messages will come through. And every time you go in there, somebody would have said, I tell this through all the time because one I remember particularly, a woman, a blogger called Wiki's Mum. Obviously she's quitting because she's Wiki's mum. I just love the name, you know, what do you think of that, Wiki's Mum? And she had da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then the next one on Monday morning went, well, we all know what that means. It means the weekend was a disaster for quitting smoking. And bang, blog after blog after blog of support comes in to her. All we do is enable it. Now, looking at that facility, we need that to happen not just with the power of one, which is us, but with the power of 3 and 4 and 12, and I can't do the numbers like that, but you know what I mean. So how do we get that to happen back to the point that we have no money? You know, you can do anything, you've got lots of money. I won't read you through those things. If you've ever got some time, go www.quit and read those blogs and look at the stories that people have shared. These are free quit advisors. They're free quit advisors. And they have so many people they influence. So our social networking goal is to leverage that influence, but not with ourselves, because we're effective when people have decided to come to us. But what about the people who haven't? We can't advertise anymore. We can't incentivise anymore. We have to enable it to happen somewhere where they are, in their communities of interest. We need to get more out of www. We need to branch out. We thought about Facebook, but who wants to be friends with Quit when they're not blogging already? I mean, we go onto Facebook, we're not cool now. I mean, when you're in us, if you've decided to get GNRT and cut to the chase and quit smoking, you go triple dub, you're in there, you're joining the blog committee, fantastic, we've got you, but you know, that's 50,000 or 25,000 who are sort of on the online stuff. What about the 600? How do we get them? How do we reach them? How do we influence them? We know that once we get you, 90% of our customers say they would recommend us. 90% of the people who use our service say they liked it and found it valuable. So if we can get you, we can get a second date, no problem. But we can't get you. We can't get enough of you. So we have to leverage off other people's platforms. We need a minimum viable product, and we're going to adapt it. And that is the blank page. Because what I can't tell you is how we're going to do it. I can't show you is how we're going to do this, because it's about 6 weeks from happening. This timing is a little bit out of sync. When I went to the Connect Now conferences in Sydney and got totally inspired by everything, I think it was last year sometime, I started sending, I'll try this Twitter thing, and I'll try this Facebook thing, and here I am beavering away, and usual me, you know, when I love something I'm like way over there. So I went manically at it, and somebody contacted me and said, I saw you tweeting about da-da-da-da, I've got an idea. And that idea has evolved into a piece of social media that's going to happen over there that we are going to buy quit attempts from. And they are going to be really sexy and cool, and everyone's going to love them. And they're going to be supporting each other to quit smoking without any money from us, and we are going to get a quit attempt from them into our website. It's like TV, but not. And it's being designed now, and we're agreeing on the money, and Jack's looking at me, don't say how much, don't say how much. But if you wanted to sort of develop a really socially interactive website, I mean, how much money do you think it would take? Well, more than we've got, put it that way. And we're going to pay for a quit attempt from an independent platform. Our money enables them to get started. They're going to have other partners. We've got an agreement that they won't partner with people like the tobacco industry, for example. We've got an agreement with them like that, and we're going to get quit attempts. And when we've got so many, if it's going well, the hockey stick, we're hoping for the big hockey stick, then we'll put more money in and buy more. But we're not going to try and make ourselves hot on Facebook. We are a bit mum and dad and nurse. We have to be mum and dad and nurse. You know, you have to trust us. You have to know we're like, you know, if something really goes pear-shaped, you talk to your friends first, and when it gets really pear-shaped, you do go home and talk to mum or dad or someone, because you really need some adult contact here. Well, we are the adult. Quit's the adult. But all the other stuff before that can't happen without. We can't be the adult and the sibling at the same time. We can't be mum and the youngest cool sister auntie. We can't. It's not possible. So instead of trying to be schizophrenic and be flash and major over in Facebook and all the rest of it, with all the money and time and effort that would take, we're going to enable somebody else to be. Now, we're going to test and play with this in December, and by January we hope that it'll be running, and by May we're hoping we've hit the hockey stick and upgrade the numbers, because quitting smoking is social behaviour. Most of smoking is social. Even if you're smoking out on your own, it's because of your emotional connection to it. It is a social behaviour. Social networking is a perfect way to help people quit and stay quit. We know that there's certain things that we do really well that will really help you. We can get you X, Y, Z. We can give you a quit coach. We can give you NRT. We can do all sorts of things that nobody else can do, but we can't connect you to us to get it. We need somebody else to do that, and we're going to pay them. And that's where we're going with it. So it's about us enabling the smoker to come to us for help. It's about us being welcomed into their world when they're ready, and then we catch them, rather than just having a website, advertising it, and trying to be something we're not. It is engage or die. In other words, or be irrelevant. And we're relevant for about 50,000 people a year. There are 600,000. That's 550,000 we have to be relevant for. If we don't engage properly, people die. We can actually help lots of people. It's really important. And we will be irrelevant. And if we're irrelevant, the government's wasting their money. Take it away. Give it to cataract operations if we can't make a difference, because the money's tight. So we have to find a way to do it. This is smell of an oily rag stuff. This is number 8 wire. This is doing it Kiwi styles. And we have great hopes on it. How much money are we sinking into it to the start? Well, I mean, if you're a struggling not-for-profit, you're going to go, oh my God, if we had that much money, we could actually buy a computer. And, you know, and I really feel, but I mean, we are the government's national service for smoking cessation. It costs the government how many more times more than ever it gets in excise. The government has a problem, because excise is cash flow in. Even if the balance sheet, if the bottom line is really bad for smoking, the cash flow is cash flow, and it's king in any business, you know that. So we have to make a difference. We are their biggest provider, but we're not putting up we're putting up not $100,000. Sort of half $100,000, sort of, you know, give or take, to get started. And you know, there's risk in this, but instead of spending $200,000 trying to be Facebook for quitting, we're going to spend a bit of money to see if somebody else can do it, and then a bit more to see if they can do it, and a bit more. And the reason that all happened was because I'm sending tweets out that somebody saw, because they had an idea, they were looking for someone who might be interested in their idea, and bang, there was a connection. So the Connect Now really worked, and it is about connection, and it's about being relevant. And they had an idea, and they're 24, and they had a passion, and they're like, it's like having a, you know about horses? You know when the horse is just broken? You know, some days she rides well, and some days she's just a right little tart. Well, having a young 24-year-old with all the passion and drive and absolute chaos in their life designing this stuff is like having this horse going, geez, you know, are we going to get there in one piece? And we are, and there are other people, there are grown-ups around, but I don't want the grown-ups to kill the ideas, because it's the person's, because this person lives in this world all the time, it is their life, it is all they know, they are perfect for it. And we can't suck that life out because of our nervousness around the edges. Put building blocks in place, put stocks, put the gate across, do whatever you like, but don't kill the passion of the person with 24-year-old with all the drive and ambition for this, who's going to quit smoking when the site goes live. What can I say? It's a pernicious addiction, and it's caused a few problems at work, because, you know, if you want to work for us, you have to be smoke-free for 6 months, because if we can't stay quit, how can we expect you to? Except he doesn't work for us, I said. And who else knows a smoker better than a person who wants to quit, for God's sake? That's what we're about, quitters. Smokers are quitters in the waiting. So we just have to work, like I say, it's a bit of a headed monster, and there's a bit of challenge in it. But, you know, that's why it's going to work, because there's a passion and there's innovation, there's creativity and it's chaos and crazy, and we're not sinking truckloads of money into it. We're just doing it in bits because of this person's passion and drive. And one final thing, the thank you economy. If you look it up, there's books, and it's sort of this growing thing. Gary Vaynerchuk said that he was blogging about wine. He started off selling wine from his father's shop. So he's doing all his blogs on wine, and someone said you should write a book. And he said, why? I've already told everybody everything I know. Yeah, but they'll want to pay for it anyway. So he wrote a book, and it's on the New York bestseller list. And now he's writing a book called The Thank You Economy, which I think is out now. And he's no novelist. He's no academic, he's no novelist. But it is about the gift. And the gift that this chap, who's the creative passion behind what he's going to build, it's hard to talk. I'm such a straight person, I hate talking in cloudy things. No offence to cloud. I did like the aerial shot though, you know, that's a good way of describing it. But with this thank you economy, his appreciation for us being prepared to take a punt with him means he's putting everything, every ounce of creativity and everything he's ever learnt and picked up all the time in this virtual world is going into this platform because he is so grateful that somebody believes in him. That's the thank you economy at large. And we are getting the benefit of it, and so is New Zealand. So it's a big thing to do, but it's much bigger for him than it is for us. We are on the receiving end of something that is advantageous. So if you ever want to come and hear me talk about this again, I'm hoping I'll be describing the hockey stick. It was like this, and we're going, oh my God, it's wasted X dollars, and then it will go up. And that's when we're going to have a sea change here in New Zealand, where the 80% of New Zealanders who want to quit really start to do it. So that's it. Thank you for listening. Kia ora.